Okay, what?
I said I'm trying to figure out how can I have my girl believe me without thinking I'm a liar. Look, I'm not lying though.
Are you a liar?
No, I lied when I
Do
was
you
younger.
lie?
Yeah. What? Yeah, I was a liar. Well,
Do
I would
you
have been
lie?
for a liar. Now in this present day, no, I don't lie.
You never, so you
Lying,
haven't lied in how long?
I ain't lied since the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So you said, what's the problem now?
I want to know what happened to women who get molested. They don't have trust. They have low trust issues, or they have bad memory skills. And I
Um,
love her a lot. I love her a lot. She's Nigerian. Very beautiful.
what's up, y'all? Everybody's welcome to come on the panel. You know what? Okay, so since the topic is gonna be mental health, I'll just start off by saying, um, emotional literacy is important, and communication is important. If you know how to, because obviously trust is earned. So if your partner thinks that you are lying a lot, you gotta ask like, what is the reason for that? Have you lied to her in the past to cause her
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
feel like you are
yes,
always lying?
yes, yes.
The
I'm
fuck
not
is my
gonna lie.
phone keeps
I'm not.
snapping?
Put a rag under it. Put a rag under it, big dog. Put a rag or something under it.
It should
Yes,
be okay for now. I think it's
I
the
did.
wind blowing a little bit from the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, family. I did lie to her. In the past,
So you gotta earn that back, then, man. You gotta earn
yeah,
that back, that trust back.
I know, I
Once you
know, I
lose,
know.
yeah. So what are you doing to earn her trust back?
Everything the truth. Give
Okay.
the truth, no matter what. No matter what is what's gonna happen with impact. Just give her the truth, no matter what.
See, I've dealt with that before. I've dealt with um, I've dealt with talking to somebody that was malicious.
That's true.
They wasn't even aware that they was.
What is malicious to you, though, big bro? You know what I mean?
It's when you will um manipulate. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Not your weed. You smoke weed?
Yes, the fuck I do.
Oh,
Yes, I do.
Why she looking like a super? Why she looking like a superstar over there?
yes. But
She look like Kanye. Go ahead, bro.
nah. What I was saying is, um, people will um. What was I about to say?
Ooh, that's my
Oh,
medicine.
yeah, malicious. All right, so most of the time, that's basically a person that will will manipulate you or might kind of like over exaggerate the situation to 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 fit they will. You know what I'm saying? Like for
That
example,
sounds that sounds like my Taurus ex-boyfriend.
yeah,
My girl's, my
that's,
girl's,
they would
my girl's,
probably
my girl's an Aries, and I'm a Capricorn. But I was born 1988, January 8th. I'm a
Nigga
fire
stayed
Capricorn.
over exaggerating.
yeah, man, and that's not like that malicious stuff. That's why I be saying, man, it's hard to find people that just got genuine intentions these days. Like they genuinely, want to build something with you and share and, you know, not manipulate you, like, and stuff like that. Like
No, she, but
I'm really
mhm.
I'm really cautious on who I let into like my personal circle because I know people, man, like people, like I've dealt with people that will try to influence me to change what makes me happy so that I can make them happy. And then they just, some people won't put your feelings. They won't even consider your feelings because they so focused on only theirs and stuff
Right.
like that. And then
Right.
they'll try to, that's when the manipulation starts and then all of the other stuff starts. And then before you know it, time has gone by and then you're like, damn, how the hell did I end up wearing a tutu? And
Not a tutu.
yeah,
God damn. See, the thing is, I ain't about to wear no tutu. I'm gonna figure out what the fuck we gonna step one. What the hell here happened here? Two. She did that work for that malicious shit did work on me for 4 years. Then
hmm
on some real shit,
I
I
think
got
that
to.
people manipulate really out of fear. I don't think that their intent is malicious. It comes off malicious because it's selfish, but it's
hmm
really ultimately rooted in fear. People have like control issues and stuff like that. And so, like with my ex, right? He was
Yeah.
very manipulative, but it was
Mhm.
because he was always afraid of like somebody taking advantage of him or him like looking like he's not a masculine man. And so he
hmm
would like use manipulation to dominate or to guilt you into submission.
Oh yeah, guilt.
Man,
I'm so glad you said that word, man. That's yeah.
yeah,
I'm
guilt
sorry.
is
Yeah.
terrible, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut y'all both off.
No, it's
Guilt
okay.
is like the scariest shit in the world what these people get it. But guess what? The people who are positive have to go back and get rebuilt
hmm
again for the next a chapter of the battle of positivity. There's a levels to this shit. Real shit. Only
Yeah.
way we can be
So that's what you.
un
That, see, these
go
are
ahead.
tools that people need to know so they can. When you see, when somebody is trying to manipulate you or being malicious, it's important to know these things. Like, what are signs that you are with that type of person? Because um, a person that's being malicious will try to use reverse psychology to make you
Every day.
feel guilty. Yeah, to make you feel guilty, man. To make you
Every
feel
day.
guilty about
Change your character.
something.
To
Yeah, that's
to
another
build you
one.
to something not to build you what they want you to see so that you can get it. So you have to leave.
Gas,
So you can win. You
gaslighting,
can win. Oh, you stole from
gaslighting,
me.
another
Mm-hmm.
form of that.
Man, it's so spooky, bro. When you wake out of it, you start to see them start to change, little baby. My girl start to change. She, I mean, like I said, she think I'm lying, but that ain't working like that. Like it's not. I'm not gonna play that shit. I'm sorry. For one, I'm telling you the truth. If you can't handle the fucking truth, stop chewing on shit that don't belong to you.
Yeah, I don't know,
Because
man. I feel like
I love your dreads.
I feel like it's your responsibility to
Remember,
earn
love,
your partner's
share
trust
love,
and respect back
respect.
for what you did. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I feel like you got to take accountability for whatever you did to make her not trust you. You know?
But you know what? It's everything is happening because my godmom telling you. I just tell you this is to get something off my chest. You said mental health, and
hmm
I went through my problem in there and see if my answer is gonna work. Because my answer is working. I'm constantly telling her the truth. I'm not hiding shit from her. I don't care. I let her go through my phone. I don't care. I'm not doing nothing to make her feel that way. And she still trying to throw those like remedies of manipulation. It doesn't work. I tell her go fuck herself, and I go tell her you talk about yourself.
So wait, what's your age, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 33. She's 43.
You 33, she 43.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We've
Who
been
is
see,
together,
she?
old. She not
and
gonna
I'm
play
5 years.
that.
Hey, and we've been together for five
She
years.
done been where you.
And we've been together for 5 years. I'm
Been
50
together
in June.
5 years. Y'all
Yeah.
been together 5 years, and she still don't trust you. You done built up.
Don't
You done see. You done
no, I
did too
know.
much.
No. It looks like that, but it's not happening. It looks like it's building up like that, but that's what she thinks right there. See that wall, that illusion wall, that same illusion wall. Guess what I tell everybody, and this is real. This woman made me do so much clean shit. Jaron Benton, Too Short, Keith Murray, Twista all like my music because of her.
You said she put you through so much. What? She made you what?
She she made me like I do music. I'm a freestyler. I do music. She
Hmm.
helped me with my cadence and everything. She made my dream come true. People can change when they realize what they really know what they are. When I
Okay.
got when I when I met her, I know who I am. I'm just saying what parts I went through to oh she think I'm lying, woo woo. I'm not. Now I'm actually on to telling beyond the truth of that. Because guess what? I've been there, done that. You feel me?
Hmm.
You can change. Don't be scared of change. Change is beautiful as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And
I
I've been
don't know,
changing
man.
every day.
I feel like the only way that see when I'm listening to these type of situations,
Yes,
I
sir.
think it's only important. I mean, it's only logical to have both people give their sides
Yeah.
because if we
Oh,
just
so next
listening to
time,
your side, of course we're gonna
okay.
feel like okay,
Hey, guess what? And guess what?
oh
You
my
got that.
fucking goodness.
Hey, you got that,
Cause
big
she
bro.
probably get on here and be like, she probably get on here and be like, man, he was cheating with me, cheating on me last night, and I caught him, and now I don't trust nothing. That
Nah,
whole
baby.
little peace out. Hmm.
No. I won't do that. I'm sorry. I see. I wasn't
Hmm.
a liar. I changed.
One thing I might not understand women all the way, but I know one thing about women is
They
um
don't play no game.
they not gonna they not gonna
Mm-mm.
they not gonna make up nothing out of they like they always have a reason for what if they suspicious or whatever because their intuition is like higher.
Basically, you're right. But guess what? The biggest issue is when the mindset of a person has too much power on their own strength and they get damaged by the people who taught them this and then they train them to surrender. They start to lose how to be people again. Their IQ to start to drop. The intuition start to drop too because then their sensibility, being a sensitive person, is gone. These people are zombies at the end of the day. They damn near see now. Real talk. Cause
Yeah.
every day she getting like more happier and then her memory getting lost. All that power she had because all over the years when you use all that anger and intelligence over and over again, what happens to a car? When you constantly use it over and over again, when you're not putting the right minerals in your head, the right understanding in your head.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are y'all are you said y'all been together for 5 years? How long have y'all known each other?
I'm gonna call love at first sight, and that's it. When I first seen her, I kept her. That was 5 years ago.
Okay. Are y'all is she who you want to be with for the rest of your life? Mental health and emotional
No.
literacy. All right. So
Hey,
do
hey,
anybody up here
can y'all
is
hear me?
there anyone who's that? Yeah, we hear
Good.
you,
Can
Dad.
y'all hear me? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Is there anybody up here who believe that it's not possible that they have any type of mental health illness? Anybody up here think that they don't have no? Okay, so that is in a minute.
In the eyes
Okay,
of who? Another person?
yes. Okay. Let
Okay.
me see. Does that even? Let me see if that even correlates. Does that even correlate? Because at one point, I'm not gonna lie. At one point, I was thinking, how will we know if we have a mental health illness without um somebody else being around as well? You see what I'm saying? That's what. That's
Right?
what it is. That's why it is confusing to me, natural beauty. So
You
delicious
have.
might have a.
Mental health correlates to the programming, right?
Mhm,
Mhm.
right.
And perfection is more on like a spiritual level.
Okay.
Well, actually, to be honest, um, perfection and mental health is like two opposite things. Now, a person with a mental disability that could stem from it could stem from anything. It could stem from generation, or it could stem from a person being abused. So mental health has a lot of different ways a person can be that they can have mental disability. So what do you mean when you say mental health?
Yo,
Is it
bro, are you
a
on the
person?
beach, man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
somebody just cut me off and
I'm
asked if
glad
somebody's on the beach. Don't it
I'm
look
glad
like
that
he
you.
on the beach?
See, this is
That's the mental health right there. Somebody look like they
right
on the
there.
I'm
beach, and you
done.
gonna ask, "Are you
I'm
on the
done.
beach?"
I'm
All right.
done.
So
I'm
look,
Why
going to
would
y'all.
you
bed.
This.
say
I'm going to
that?
bed. I'm
All
going to
right.
bed. That
All
was
right.
it.
Wait
That
though,
was it.
Are
I'm
y'all.
you
going
on
to
the
bed. Good
Wait.
beach?
night.
And the person
I'm
looks
Let's.
going to
like
bed.
they're on the
I'm good.
beach.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
So look, he had to talk because he know I'm about to go in. So number 7, that classified as a person mental ability. So we could speak
Good
on that.
No,
morning.
everybody has to be
Who
on
said that?
camera
Number 7?
within the next 10 or 15 minutes. It don't matter who you are. Within the next 10 or 15 minutes, everybody
Good
needs to
morning,
be on camera.
everybody.
That's just what we need to do.
Morning.
Even if you in the dark, you got to wear a mask. We just be on camera.
I can't
Like
with
just
you.
Wow.
we
Are
Even
you on
want
the
though
we want.
beach?
All
Are
right,
you on the
man. Let's
beach,
stay
or
focused. Can we stay focused, please?
or you
Yes.
at a
No, this
restaurant?
is actually a fucking green screen. It don't matter right now.
Right.
We just trying to
I'm just
get this.
saying when somebody cut me off to ask you were you on the beach. Wow. That's
All right.
mental health, showing their
Just
mental health.
emotional literacy is what we're gonna get into next, too, because and I'm glad that you're here, Denisha, because you always here to challenge some of the things that I say, and it makes me think too. Because, like I was saying before, if everybody started eating, like if we was on, if we went to another place and everybody was just violent and aggressive and just just killing everything, not even eating it, just killing everything, and that was normal for them, we would diagnose that as something with the mental health, right? So that's why that was actually a really good question, because how would you know if you have a mental health illness
But that's
without?
why I said it has to do with the programming, because everybody's
Hmm.
program is different. You know.
Hmm.
So what's
And some
normal in
people,
our society is different in other people's society, and there's a lot of shit that they do that we think is crazy. Just like there's a lot of shit that they do that they do that we think is crazy.
And I have one more question too.
I
Okay.
couldn't even finish what I was saying, but it's okay because I know how to sit back.
Well, what was you saying? Because you cut yourself off when you kept
No,
going
I didn't
with
cut.
the
I know somebody
backdrop.
cut. Oh, so now you don't know that somebody cut me up and asked you
No,
was that the
I
beach you
do
was
know
at?
that, but you kept going with it, and I thought you was done.
Yeah, I
So go ahead.
haven't. Yeah, because once I said that, you started talking because you knew I was gonna come back and say who said that stupid question. So you started talking.
Oh well, nah, you can go ahead and finish if you need to.
Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, a person just don't wake up and just be mental. Mental comes from different types of situations. Whether a person getting abused, or a person could have been in a situation to where they family, they mom, they dad, everybody has a mental illness and it's transferred to their children DNA. So it's many types of people that's mental, and then some people don't even know that they mental until somebody else point it out,
Somebody
and they're
talking in
like,
the background.
okay. See, people don't know how to control it. So you got some mental people on this panel right now. But
All right, so I think we get. All right, so it's not. We are all okay. So we all are mental. We all have mental health. It's basically mental health awareness is what the panel is about. So we all have mental health. Some people are just not aware of their mental health. You know what I mean? That's it. It's just some people are not aware of their mental health. Like if I run out here and do something crazy right now, then I need to know what is
I
causing
disagree.
me.
I disagree with that because I'm gonna be honest. I used to work for a
Which part?
hospital. People came in, but they don't
Which part?
understand that they're mental.
Which which
Okay,
part do you disagree with?
the fact that you said some people don't know that they're mental, that's not true. Some people do know they're mental because I used to work in the hospital where people used to come and
Some
pick up
people
their
don't.
medication. They used to
So
come and
you
pick
mean
up they I
so
used to
you mean
prescribe them for their
so
medicine, whether they were bipolar or whether they were just mental. People actually go to therapy for their mental illness. So That's why they have these different things in place where you have to go see a therapist because you're dealing with mental battles, or you have to come in take medication because you bipolar. So it is set up to where people getting help for their mental
Which part?
illness. Now,
I mean, for us to have a conversation, we have to be able to listen to each other. We can pause and listen, and then you say something and I listen. So, which part did you disagree with? Did you disagree with the fact that we all have mental health, or did you disagree with the fact? I didn't say we all have mental health illnesses. I said we all have mental health, and some of us are just not aware of our mental health illnesses. That's what I
well,
said.
well, if a person got mental health and they're not receiving the help that they need, then that's a problem. I don't believe everybody have mental health. I believe people have issues. People
All
might be
right, wait a
lacking in
minute,
different
please,
areas,
please, please. All
but
right, so
mental health needs to be diagnosed.
I
No,
think
mental health needs to be diagnosed.
I think
That
it's a
needs to be
I think
diagnosed.
it's definitely a misunderstanding with the
Look
word.
up the
Okay.
definition mental. Look up the definition mental. Because if somebody have a mental problem, then that's
All right, so you
dangerous to
are.
society
I'm
because
assuming
anything can
because
happen. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
I'm
Because I
assuming
can't talk.
because you shouldn't. But I'm assuming because you just
No,
woke
I
up.
should.
Not really what you're
Oh
saying
wow.
because it's literally not making. I'm trying to help you out because I don't want you to 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 um to misunderstand what I'm saying and then cause you to say something that's literally not even true 1%. And that's what's happening. I'm really trying to give you a different example of what I'm saying. Okay, everyone on earth that is a living, breathing has mental health. It's
Okay,
mental
we
health.
it and who told you
Everyone.
where you get that information from? Who where are you getting that where you get that information from that everyone has a mental health? Because I don't like when people just say anything to me. You have to tell me exactly where you get your information from, and so I
Do
can
you
go
have
research
health?
and look it up.
Okay. All right. So,
Be,
do you have health?
Yeah, I have help. That's why you go. They let you the doctor know if you're healthy, and they let you know if you're not healthy. It's a different place if I'm going for my mental. They're like now you need to go somewhere so we can check and see on your mental status. It's a different part. You can go for your physical health. You can go for it's so many different things you can go
Whose hand is
when
that?
you go.
Hey, sexy.
Hey, good
What's
But
up?
morning.
it's different. It's different when it comes to your physical. It's so many different parts of your body when you actually going to be seen. When you going when they let you know if you have good health, or because you can have good health and be mental. So I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Sometimes, let me say this. Sometimes for us to learn, man, we just gotta just simply listen, man. That's it. And not trying to offend nobody, but
No, I'm
sometimes,
answering your question. You
yeah,
just
but
asked if I have health. You asked about mental health, and I'm explaining to you. Cause I'm telling
we
you,
all have mental
you can be healthy. You can have good health
health. Dead.
and be
I see
mental,
you dead.
or you can be mental and have bad health. And then
No. Okay, this is where I'm trying to.
Okay.
This is where I'm trying to. All right, please, Dad. I see your hand. Let me just make sure because I don't want her
Yeah.
to miss. You clearly misunderstanding what I'm saying. Mental doesn't equate to illness. Where mental health and mental health illness are two different things. Okay, you have mental health, but you can have a mental health illness, and
but
some
I
people
already
are not
know. I don't
aware.
have to explain that I have mental health. That's something that I already know. I got to mental. Like you,
So
maybe because I'm above and little surface answers for me is something I don't even explain because I already know that. Like I have a mental, yes. So maybe I'm overlooking that because I don't answer surface questions. I like to be challenged or higher. So that right there was over my head because I already know. Oh, I got a mental. So now, and I asked you earlier, what part of mental was you talking about? Did I not say that earlier?
man,
So yeah.
now,
But I
yeah,
understand you
man.
got to do it that way because people
We
think
gotta
baby
have
steps.
we have to be we're gonna talk about emotional literacy too because it's just a lot that I noticed about people and everybody sometimes people think that we attacking them so they guard be extra high and then it just comes across like It don't gotta be
No,
that
it's not
serious.
that my guard is high. It's just that I
It is.
asked the question
It's
earlier,
obviously
but
high.
who don't know that they have a mental? Who don't know that? That's what I'm asking you. Who don't know that?
Okay, can y'all let all knowing Des? I want to hear from like because other people want to say something. So I just
Right,
want to
right,
hear what
right.
they say about this.
Appreciate that, Queen. I really do. Um, delicious. I think the definitions, the terms that you're actually using are kind of I don't know. I'll say stifling the communication. One,
I can't hear you
if
that
we
good,
say,
Des. Hold on, let me
oh,
put my
I'm
other
sorry,
headphones in. It's probably me.
and it might be me. I'm using some new earphones. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I believe it's the terms that you're using. When you say that a person is mental, that's
Right.
actually you know what I'm saying. That's not necessarily categorizing anything. That's just kind of
Right.
music
Thank
going off
you, Des. That's what
and
I've been
so
trying.
you gotta
That's what I've been trying to explain. Like
so understanding the proper terms is going to be the first part of being able to have this conversation. Yeah.
to be able to have. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's exactly
But
what
that's
I
what I
mean.
said earlier. I can't answer a question if somebody just asking about mental. I asked her earlier what part of mental because I already know we all have mental. We all, each of us have a mental.
Why won't you add health after the word? It's like you're not comfortable putting health after the word mental. We all have mental health. We all have mental health. We all
It's just
have
knowing
mental
where
health,
Yeah, mental
and
health.
some
Yeah,
people
mental health.
we
Yes.
all have mental health, and to figure out what to go even further, we have to be aware of our mental health. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why
that it,
we to get to a solution, we have to be aware of our mental health. That's why the panel is called mental health awareness.
Awareness. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
be
okay,
aware.
so
If I don't know that if I'm not aware of my mental health, then I can just be running around here acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I need to at least acknowledge that there's a possibility that there could be some type of illness to make me to cause me to behave a certain type of way. So that's what we're talking about up here right now.
And I could,
How we
and
can
that's
I
what
get you
I
on that. You
answered
know,
earlier.
and
Right.
and like when I hear, I have a bar meter, just a bar meter, ways I judge I make judgment on what someone says. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
And so like I have like you could tell when someone's speaking from like their self or when their ego jumps in. As soon as I hear their ego jumps in, they can't discern from that. I'm gonna
Oh
say they
yeah.
have a mental health issue. Their awareness is down. That's number one. Okay, so like if you know the four agreements, I use the four agreements as a way to judge someone's mental health and see if they're aware. Like if I
That's
say like
emotions, not a mental
no,
health.
it's
That's
not.
emotions.
No, yeah, but it's
Mental is if
also
somebody can't control. That's a controllability. They can't control themselves and they won't stop. That's a mental. But when somebody have emotions and passion, those two different things.
That would be
okay.
called a
So
mental
okay,
health
so
illness.
listen,
So
let's go off what Seven
But
said. It's emotions.
time out.
Okay,
Can we get the
the
terminology right first up here,
the
please?
the
Because it's
thalamuses
really
are all over the body,
wait.
but
Pause,
in the brain
please.
particularly.
Take.
So it
Can we
is
take a?
actually part of the mental.
Well, you just asked him if he at the beach, so you can't tell me nothing.
Can we take a
Mhm.
Yeah,
second?
so someone said in the, you see what I'm saying, bro?
Look,
That's
y'all. Look,
crazy.
y'all.
Yeah, there's the
Listen.
ego, and that's something.
Oh, no, this is not. This is look, y'all. We have to have emotional literacy, please, for the conversation to even be productive. We have to be just as much as aware of our mental health as our emotional. Like emotional literacy is also just as important. So if you are, you know, it's all connected. So let's just try to listen to each other, man. Let's not get too frustrated with each other up here because then it's just gonna turn into an argument. And I can feel it coming. I can feel it in the air, like Phil Collins.
evolve the culture and plant out. Can y'all cam up for us?
Yeah, we need everybody on camera, y'all. It is that's the new rule. Everybody got to be on camera. I wish that everybody could be more comfortable on camera so we can be having a visual along with the
Yo,
conversation.
it's good.
What up, y'all? So, um, it's just how we gonna try to keep the panel going, y'all. Um, if y'all need 10 minutes, just take 10 minutes and get ready. Like I said, if you don't want to be on camera, just figure out a way to position the camera where you don't have to be directly in front of it. Like I don't like my face being directly in front of the camera, so I always just try to, you know, get a good angle where, so but being on camera, it does something.
Yo, can
Anyway,
I get a mic check? Can I get a mic check?
you
One,
sound
two, one,
perfect.
two. Thank you.
Perfect. So I think we need to start using mental health instead of saying mental, because when you take health out of let me take this down, put the F out, man. When we just saying mental, like everybody's mental, you're forgetting that it's part of your health, you know. So if we can even practice saying mental health, that would even be beneficial for this conversation, because if you just take health out of there, you're just thinking about just one little simple thing that's just not completing it. So yeah, let's just start. If we can, it'll make more sense if you put health in front of that mental. So you'll start to understand what we're talking about, because we're talking about mental health awareness. Um, but where was we? Who did I cut off number 7, right? My bad, number 7, by the way. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Damn. But I guess I'm just gonna keep going until y'all somebody ready to say anything.
I think Des was
Thank
saying something that I
you.
was trying to listen to. Des.
Go ahead. What was you saying, Des? Who did that went to?
It wasn't me. That was somebody else. I just got back.
Okay, y'all. So I'll just start going. All right, so let me just say this. Okay, so it could be a mental health illness. When we talking about, okay, so the only reason, like Delicious said earlier, that if everybody is perfect, how do you say you have a mental health illness? Okay, so there is a standard of in the world where people would be considered healthy. Without that standard, then nobody would be worried about it, right? So it's not normal to it's not we wouldn't look at something normal if I were to walk around cutting my arm and bleeding every day. Like if I just got a knife every day and just cut my arm, somebody would assume I have a mental health illness because it's something that's causing me to do something that no one else in the world is doing or whatever, or maybe a few other people. So that's when the the possibility comes in that okay, there is a mental health illness, like a defect in the programming of natural human behavior, and that's where we at, right? Because some people do believe that there is no such thing as mental health illnesses because we all individual and unique in our own way. So if you can,
If mental health is illness is only based on, I just need to understand. Is it supposed to be based on something negative? Because you just compared it to cutting your
good question.
arm. So
That's a good question. Okay, Dez had his hand raised. Dez, come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Keep
yeah.
going.
Real quick. You silly. So mental health is, of course, the state and the wellness of your mental state, right? But as far as mental health wellness or like the standard of, that's that's an agreed social construct. You feel me?
Right.
Just like time, or just like what is good or what is bad, these are agreed social constructs, and we agree on them based on how it affects those around us, typically, and ourselves, or I should say, ourselves and those around us. How well are we able to go through our day with our mental capacities
oh,
operating,
okay.
right? With our mental
Mhm.
capacities operating and
Mhm.
still being able to function with the world, around you and within you. I think
Oh, okay.
that's what we base our the standard on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mental health.
collectively. You feel what I'm
Oh, okay, on
saying?
Right,
mental health. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. So I get that. As long as
yeah.
it's not affecting, the world around you and
So
affecting your lives. Correct.
so look. So this is what I always use for an example. I always say, what if it was just all of us? This was the world right here. Everybody, delicious, sexy, natural beauty, Krim, the whole panel. Dez, Plant Style. I can't see the name in the other box, but if it was just all of us, and all of us have a behavior pattern of every day we wake up at 5 a.m., we go running, 6 a.m. we pray to God or whatever. We're gonna do that backwards. 5 a.m. we pray, 6 a.m. we go running, um, so on and so on. We have a whole pattern, and we tell each other good morning. We love each other, and all of a sudden, 1 year out of doing that every day, Dez wakes up at 10 a.m. and starts screaming every day. Instead of praying, he screams as loud as he can. We're gonna look at Dez like, Dez, you're not behaving like you were before. We're gonna be concerned. And Dez might not be aware. He might just feel like it's something that he likes to do from now all of a sudden. So we would have to go deep into
Oh,
where this came
okay.
from.
So I was listening and I hear what you're saying. So I have to give you an example of me being a young woman and now when I was a young lady, now into a woman. So when I was younger, I went to the club and I enjoyed, dancing on multiple guys. I didn't have a problem with, I didn't know who you were. We're gonna dance, we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna call it the night. Now as an
Mhm.
older woman, I go to the club and no, I don't want any random guy putting his hands on me. I don't want to dance with any random guy. I don't want to be touched. I just want to go
Okay.
listen to the music and enjoy the scenery. I'm doing something different now from what my friends that are my age, as a woman, we go to the club, they might still be being thrown in the air, still have random guys, still want to, pop out with a dude, but I'm not doing that anymore. I don't feel like that. That's not how I feel. So now I
They
have
love
mental
holding it.
issues. Now I'm just saying, so now do I have would you consider I have mental issues because of something I was doing once when I was young? Now that I'm grown, I already know I don't like that. I don't like
All
that.
right.
As a woman, I
So
don't like it, so I'm not doing it.
So most of the time, doctors will diagnose something as an illness if it's having a negative effect on your health, like something that's negative. It's not going to be a mental health illness if you wake up and you want to go jogging every day. That's not negative to your health. Usually, it's something that's harming other people or yourself. If it's
Oh,
some
that's
type
why I
of
Exactly.
asked the
That's
illness,
question.
exactly what I was
That's
gonna
why
say.
it's
that's
that's why
exactly
it's a,
why I asked. Is it something supposed to be harmful? That's why I asked. Was
That's
it
why I
harmful?
asked. That's what I said
Touch it.
earlier.
Was it
yeah.
something
Something
harmful?
being diagnosed.
Well,
Right.
That's
that's why we
That's
gotta.
why I
That's
asked.
why when we're using these words up here,
right.
we gotta at least know what the word illness
Correct.
is
Right.
obviously.
In your head.
Uh,
I
It's
mean, just
showing.
mental, whatever. When you said mental, just having to do something different from something that everybody knows you to be like, oh, damn, I know when you go to the club, you're going to have a good time. I know you. And then when you get there, you ain't doing none of those things that they think you going to do. Because
well,
they,
That
but
that
that's at
wouldn't
the
that
same
wouldn't
time.
Well,
But
that's not a mental health. Yeah,
I'm
mental
just, I was just
disorder.
saying, because that's why I was trying to
now look.
understand that was
that's
like
not a
something
mental
Now
else.
it
illness.
could be. See, this is why it's always open, kind of up for debate too a little bit because it could be. What if a person is used to going to the club and dancing with everybody, and then all of a sudden they walk into the club and they are afraid of everybody? Now
That
that's
would
an
be
illness.
probably if it's unfounded and it's a
Somebody got a.
fear.
Is that my phone or somebody else's?
Somebody
Yeah.
If
else's.
it's a,
So
is it me?
now it's done. That's gone. It's better now. But
I was gonna
but
say
then that
if the so if the anxiety is unfounded, if the anxiety that
Yeah.
that person experiences when they go into the club, if it's unfounded, if they can't rationale in their mind why they feel that anxiety, that would be a mental instability. That would
Right.
be
But
something that you know what I'm saying. But if they just go to
Right.
the club and they walk in there and they're like, you know what? This isn't my group no more. This motherfucking place has been shot up 6 times. I don't even like the way the people in the corner are looking at me, and then they feel anxious, but they
It's
usually love that place.
COVID-19.
That's not, yeah, right. That's not necessarily a mental instability. That's
No,
Right.
that's
Right.
reasoning. That's somebody using their logic, or you know what I'm saying.
Nah,
We
but
we gotta
I'm not. I'm not.
understand.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the place had to be even shot up. I'm just saying every party you go to, any party, a family function, whatever, you going, you normally like to dance with people. Now, when you go to the parties, you're like, I don't want to dance with. I don't nobody touch me.
So,
Right. I'm saying
all right. So here we go.
if you can understand the pathology of why that you feel that way now, then that's not necessarily a mental instability. That may just be a new preference of yours. You know what I'm saying? But if you
Right.
get to those places and all of it, like if you went last week somewhere and you was having a ball, you was dancing with everybody, da 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 da, and then next week you go somewhere and it's just like, oh my God, why can't I do this? That may be a problem. Something may have occurred. Something may have
That's
Oh
surfaced.
no. Oh no.
and
Yeah, at that
that's
place
why
or
we're
with
using the
some
word
people or
awareness
whatever. I feel what
because
you're saying. But if it's my preference, just my preference.
but if,
Right.
but if
The
you
preference
are
is
aware
preference.
or if you are aware that there's a change in your behavior, then you're
Right.
good because at least you're aware of
Typically.
it. Like it'd be some people
Right.
up here that just don't even know why they wake up wanting to cuss people out. So if you can at least say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh shit, I'm cussing people out today," if you can say that, if you can notice, "Oh shit, I'm cussing people out," you know
Somebody
notice
background
Somebody
is terrible.
headphones. Put your
if you
headphones.
if you wake up and you say, "Oh shit, I'm cussing people out today," and that something snap, and then that's when you are aware right there. But if
Right.
you're not aware, that's where the issues can begin. You know,
Right.
and
Okay.
that's why
Well, you
we
know
need to
what? You
talk
know
about
what, Leon? You can
I
be
said it
aware of your mental
uncontrollably.
instability.
It's
You can be aware of your mental instabilities and still be suffering from them.
but
it.
you can
Okay,
still.
so
if it goes undiagnosed, because most people take medication. Some people wake up and pop their pills in their mouth, and they can control themselves. Where
but
most
they're not
people don't.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, some people don't know.
right. Some people don't, but that's what
Right.
I'm
Some
saying.
people
Like for
don't.
example,
Some people don't. Some people do.
so for
That's
example,
just another example of how much mental health is a spectrum. It's a huge spectrum.
and here's another example. Hey, Marie had asked me. Well, she made a comment about her son having acne, and she didn't know why. So she was like, she's gonna buy him some soap for his skin, and I
Hmm.
had to remind her something that she forgot that it's not an external problem that her son is dealing with.
Always. Right.
The
Facts.
problem is internal. The problem is internal, but it's being displayed on the outside.
Yeah. It's the
So
external way. Yep. Hmm.
yeah, so that's how it is with mental health most of the time too.
Yep.
People be so
Exactly.
focused on
But how old is
um
her son? Was he going through puberty? He probably
He's
had a
eight.
phase
18.
of puberty.
He's 17.
He going
No,
through
he's 18.
puberty.
He's
Yeah,
18
no,
now.
no. Regardless of puberty, yeah,
Hmm.
the body exuberates
I understand that,
everything
but
that's going on from the internal, and so what's happening is usually like the pores are used as a cleansing mechanism.
yeah,
Usually,
I
it's
know.
supposed
I
to be
know.
it's supposed to be for
You
sweat.
really want to.
You know, sweat. You're supposed to sweat things out, but
My
when
son is
things become
17. He
clogged
never had
or overly
any.
clogged, it's being pushed out through the pores, and
I
that's
tell
usually from
people,
the
wash their
dietary
sheets.
intake. A lot of
Yeah.
things that the Caucasian has created, that synthetic food, will cause
Good fucking kids
certain
clothes.
conditions in the body, and pimples will be a high factor because I have teenage boys, and I'm trying to tell them like, yo, that junk stuff, that's why your face is like that, eh, bro? It has nothing to do
Right,
with your puberty. Don't
right,
get it twisted. That's
right,
No,
that's
because I
right.
that's
got family
BS.
members. I'm just saying, I have family members that love sweets, and the only thing that
But
happens to them is that they lose their teeth. They don't even get pimples.
Right.
it's
Right.
still
Because
They
everything.
lose teeth.
it's
Because
but
They
yo,
everybody
lose
don't
it's
get
pimples.
still
pimples.
That's why I say
yeah,
people need
but
to
you
clean their
can't
teeth. It goes a little deeper than that.
yeah,
Wash your
Right.
clothes,
Right.
wash your teeth. It goes a little deeper
it
than that. Why you get pimples?
it, it definitely goes deeper, but we can't assume either.
Even
I ain't
stress
Like,
assume. I
okay,
can
just
cause
said
of.
Yeah,
add
on the
no,
everything.
no, no,
Add
on
everything.
the
I'm
surface
not
level,
talking about
on the
man. I'm not
Like
surface
talking about
level,
nobody. I'm talking
outside of
about
your
in
face.
the
general.
beginning,
God,
the beginning of
man, look,
any
y'all.
type of dysfunction within the human body is internal, and it's from what
Exactly.
you
That's what
eat
I'm saying.
externally. That's the first thing. So like mental health awareness is not a joke, and to understand that alone, of course, wash your clothes and all that stuff. Of course, your clothes. You have dirty clothes. Well, then you could clog your pores. Okay, your
But
pores.
yeah, but it's a lot of people
Yeah,
that don't. They have mental issues and they don't know to
but
go
that's the
wash their
thing though.
clothes
But
every week. They put the same
that's
dirty stuff back on and go
That's
outside.
why.
Go to work,
yo.
go
It's a
That's why the
around.
wonderful.
mental health.
It's a
All
wonderful
them negative
situation,
people
but
be coming
that has
outside.
nothing to do with the
No,
awareness of the idea
that's
of
why.
Well, some
getting
people just
pimples.
poor. They don't have no
No, it's
other
not about
clean
being
clean
poor. You
clothes.
still, it's
Man,
not. No,
y'all,
see,
this is what
no,
I'm
you
talking
can't
about
use
right
that as
here,
an excuse.
man.
You use a bar of soap and you get in that tub and you wash them clothes. If you like clean clothes, if you like clean
Uh,
clothes, it's not about being poor. You can be poor and still keep yourself at at a certain stage. Some people just have that mental where they like,
No,
oh,
I'm
okay,
gonna
I
be honest. It's some
don't need
homeless
this
people
dirty
out there
stuff
is smarter than people on this panel. They just
up.
don't
What
have the
you talking about?
abilities and the finance to
what does
change their
being
clothes.
homeless have to do with education?
Hey, let me.
No, because
Can
somebody
I?
was just
Okay.
saying something about the reason why some people have mental illness because they don't
Yeah,
change their clothes, something
it
like
doesn't.
that. Or
But that's what I'm saying.
So
Being
Who
homeless,
who said
I'm gonna
that?
be.
Who
Look,
said that?
let me say
Leon,
something
Right.
real quick.
Leon, may I? Can I get in
I,
there? Hey, so real quick, guys, like the conversation that Leon's trying to have, and it's hilarious because every time we always display the opposite of that control. We always
Exactly.
display the opposite of emotional literacy. We can't have I'm sorry, we're trying to have a conversation about subject A. And
Right.
in that, we've run all the way down here to subject H. And check
Facts.
this out now. Now check this out. To be completely honest, that is showing our level of emotional intelligence. Because
Yep.
if we're because what's happening is we're all jumping up trying to be like me, me. And what that is showing is our neediness for validation, as
Okay.
opposed to simply
Yes.
having the conversation about mental health and mental instability and the like. That's that.
Where
I
Facts.
you been?
mean, that's what we're
Where you
doing.
been, Des? Where you been, Des? Where you been, man? Where
That's
you
what I'm
been?
talking. I hear what you're saying, so
Why
that's why
you
I'm
been
saying.
leaving for so long, man? Because when you leave for a certain amount of time, it's like I be having to deal with this myself, and it's not easy. I'm just saying because you have the other pieces, but
Hmm.
man, I
No, but
that's why
you
I
can
want to
see.
have more topics about mental health awareness
Hmm.
and emotional literacy. Like it needs to actually be like an hour a day because I don't think that people are even aware, man. Like I said, like you said, certain people get so we want to be right to the point where we put the whole like we want to be right so bad that
Hmm.
I don't want to be
we don't
right.
even acknowledge.
I just want to be
No,
safe in life. I don't want to be
I'm
right.
not talking about anybody. I'm not talking about nobody
No, I'm just saying. You saying people in general want to
particular.
be right in life, and I just want to
Most
be
people.
safe. So, in safety, that keeps you right.
Okay. So all right. So even that, right? It's safety that keeps you right. If your idea of safety is actually an extreme idea of safety
Somebody
because
got a noise
of
background like a TV or a radio or something playing. There you go.
what if your idea of safety is actually an extreme measure of safety because of your experience, i.e., where you are mentally or your mental state, right? And what you feel is safe is actually over safe and unsafe for others. You get what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
that
I
would
would know if it was. I would know if it's unsafe for others. If you understand,
would
if
you?
I'm about safety, I'm gonna know
Mm.
You feel me? Would you
safety is
know?
safety, and I would know if I'm
Okay,
making someone
so
else unsafe.
so sexy. Can you hear me? Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. We're gonna give you a mental health awareness test right now and an emotional literacy test right now. Okay.
That's okay because I take that. I have to take that for for the state job that I work for. So yeah, I know how to do that.
Okay, so we're gonna just do a
You
personal
have
one
to
for,
take
for
the
the
test
for the for the
first.
people that for the people that have experienced sexy on this app right here. Okay,
All right, thank you.
all right. So, do you feel like you are um overexpressive in any type of way?
when I need to be, not all the time.
Okay. Do you do you feel like you are? Wait, when you need to be, or when not all
Yes.
the time? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a
It's different
possibility that
settings. It's
it's a
different settings.
possibility it's a possibility that you might think that you need to be at times where you don't need to be, and it could come across
Right.
like to other people that you are overexpressing yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I definitely know I could take back. I'll have, yeah, I have experienced that in life. Yes.
okay, so if that is a possibility, are you able to control it?
Oh, yes. I definitely will take a step back and know that whom I'm speaking to and how I'm expressing myself, they aren't the persons that that I need to be taking on that fight, no matter even if they came at me in a certain way. So
That
I would have
okay.
to go around
So
it and
it's
deal with it in a different manner.
you're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
I said I would have to go around it and deal with it in a different
You're
manner,
breaking
right?
your phone sounds like you just went into Canada phone
Okay,
booth.
okay. So I have to get my headphones.
It's still bad. Is it me, y'all?
No,
No,
it's
no, no,
probably my
no.
No,
phone.
it's her
Mm-hmm.
headset.
It's my
Yeah.
phone.
You know what you should. You know what question
Yeah.
you should pose, Leon. You
Huh?
should ask
Well,
what if anybody hasn't. My bad. Go ahead.
my bad, Dennis. But it's like this. It's like this right here. Okay, so what I noticed with Sexy is she's already that guard is super high. So it's like this.
Sure.
And it's another thing that I noticed with Scoop. And I'm not. I mean, Scoop ain't here, but I wish he was so I could tell him this stuff too.
How
Because
is
he
my
talking about.
guard up if I agreed? And if I'm telling you my
Well,
honesty,
what did you agree with?
I said I have been in situations where I was, overly. I took
Well,
it,
this is why
I went
this
over
is
a
why
little bit overly
no
board with
no
it and
this
take
is
it back.
why this is the problem right here. I didn't ask you a question for you. I didn't make a statement for you to agree. I asked you a question. So asking you a question
Yeah, but you asked me a
isn't
question.
anything
Yeah,
to agree with. Asking a question, how can you agree to a question? I'm just asking.
I
Is
mean,
it possible?
I wasn't all right.
Oh,
You're
excuse me.
asking a question, and I agree to you asking me that because I have been in that situation. So that is, yes, I've been in that situation before, so I do know how to take back. That's what I was saying. Not
See,
saying
Okay.
I would pose
no,
it
I don't.
differently.
I've never been in
Okay,
that
so look at
situation. I said
we
yes,
spoke
I've
about.
been in that situation.
See, look at number two. I'd say it differently. Like, okay, because these brothers have something on it. Okay, so when we talked about the pimple thing, we were talking about the baseline of why, and then you went into dirty clothes and all this stuff, which mental
Okay.
health awareness, the
I
reason.
just said
We're not talking about the
I
factors
just
of
added
why
on
other
as
people's
more
can have
things from just
pimples.
internal.
No, but weren't talking about factors. We're talking about the baseline of the
Okay,
cause.
all right. You were going to something specific, and I was going in depth. Okay, so I get what you're saying. I went
No,
in
that
depth.
wasn't in depth. That's variables of why people can have it. But we're talking about the baseline because
Okay,
obviously
I get what
whoever's having
you're saying.
pimples, they're not going out with dirty clothes. Because I'm pretty sure the person who's the mom is not letting their son roll with dirty clothes and all that other stuff. So the factors are just factors, but the mental health awareness of it is to understand that what you put in is what will come out.
And can I make this? I want to make this clear too because I don't want to make it. Like I said, I'm just an individual observing everybody, and I'm being observed the same way. So I don't want to say that anything up here is a fact just because I believe it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like sometimes I observe from my point of view that some people I don't want to say I think it's just too I think it'll be oversimplification if I say talk too much. You know,
Right. Right.
so I feel like for me to say it's hot outside will get the point across instead of saying, man, the sun is really blah 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 blah. You know what I'm
Uh
saying? And
huh.
that's what's causing me to feel this temperature. It's like that's what I feel like. Some people will be like, okay, what would like are you? Could there be a mental illness that caused you to want to feel like you are the smartest person in the room, or
Hmm.
that
No,
just something like that? That could be a
no,
mental illness.
Yeah.
no,
Not
Absolutely.
you. No, I'm not talking about nobody in particular.
no.
I'm just talking about in general.
No, no, no. I'm just saying
That's
no. I agree. That could be a symptom. That could be. a manifestation of just what you're talking about. Yeah.
I understand
No,
that.
I heard sexy in the background, and I was trying to make sure she know that that's not how I
Oh,
feel about her. I'm just saying I don't want her to think that I'm talking about her at all.
No,
Your
I
mic is really low, sexy.
really
can
low.
you hear me now? It is.
Still really low.
You able to hear me?
It's real low. It's like a 10 out of 100.
See, I guess there'd be a difference between wanting to be the smartest or feeling like you're the smartest compared to speaking facts that are tangible.
Yeah, sure,
Right.
of
Speaking
course.
Can you hear
logic.
me now?
You might need to speak to through
It's
your
still low.
phone,
It's still low,
sexy.
sexy, but we can hear you, but it's real
No,
low.
I can't. I'm gonna have to come back
You got your
in.
earpiece in? You might can take it out.
Yeah, I did, but I just put it in so that y'all would hear me better from the, cause the
I
speaker
just
wasn't
I
working.
just want you to know, sexy, that I
Hold on,
I
I'm gonna
I
come
like
back
when
up.
you're on the
Hold
panel.
on. Hold on, Leon.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
hear me?
come back up. Hold
Okay,
on.
okay. Did she leave? I can't see. The sun is directly on the phone. I can't see that good.
Leon,
Right.
how would
Accuracy
you
is better than being
define
right.
Are you able to hear me now? Can you hear
yes.
me
Perfect.
Yeah,
now?
much
Yeah.
better. Much better.
Okay, see, that's what I said. I had to go out and come back in.
How would you define emotional literacy or emotional intellect?
Okay, so I
When you,
got my other phone right here, but I can't look up the definition.
Yeah, I
But for
want to
me, I
answer.
would.
Right, right.
Okay,
Without
y'all want to
definition.
go
We'll
around?
look up the definition in a second. Yeah. I want to give everybody a chance to answer that and
I
then we'll
would
look up the
like to
Okay,
definition.
speak on that.
I like that you asked that
okay,
question, Dan, because sometimes it's important
mm,
to know what a person when we're using these terms up here. It's important to
Hmm.
know
right,
how good we know or how close we are to the actual definition.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
okay,
so to me, I would say emotional literacy is just basically being um, being aware of how
belligerent.
you respond.
Mm-hmm.
Being aware to how you respond emotionally to another situation. Like I would an example would be okay, somebody pushed me on the ground. I would have to display emotional literacy by how I respond to being pushed on the ground. I can get up and say, let me decide which emotion I want to. I can get up and I can be angry and I can display aggression, or I can get up and say, you know, why did you, I can, I'm, a, I'm aware of how I'm responding emotionally to a situation. Is that
Right,
close enough
right.
to
I
the
mean, they know
definition?
no right, no wrong. We'll look up the definition after everybody else. After
Okay.
everybody's, giving their delicious. Well, how would you define emotional literacy or emotional intellect?
Okay, emotional literacy would just be when you just having a conversation with a group of people. You pretty much expressing your thoughts and your input on that situation of what you're coming together to discuss. Um, I'm not gonna give an example. I'm just gonna give like the basic. And then emotional intellect is when you're going deeper. You're going emotional, going in details and what the situation is presented to you. So you actually going deeper. You're gonna go in depth with the whole situation, and you're going to explain to them. You know. So yeah.
Mhm.
But now you want me to give examples too?
No, you don't got to know.
Okay.
Well, I get the same thing she said. The
Uh-huh.
same thing
Wait a
she
second.
said. I feel. I said the same thing
Mhm.
she said.
The same thing she
Okay.
said.
So was you
Yes,
going around the whole
But
panel?
they
You
both
asking
they both
everybody
is
on the
the same
panel?
though.
I'm
You
just
asking
Yeah,
saying.
everybody
So
on the
yeah.
I
whole?
get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Natural wanted to weigh in. I think Plant Style wanted Evolve definitely down there weigh in. Uh, do you got access to look up the definition right now?
Um.
I can try and look it
Yeah,
up. I
Where
can
your
try.
other phone? He got two phones.
I can, but I wanted to save
Let me
this
look it
live.
up.
That's why I didn't touch it.
I can look
Oh,
it up.
oh, oh! Don't do that then. Don't do it. We can get it.
Okay.
We can get it. But go ahead, Natural. That way, yeah. Go
Um,
ahead, Natural.
so for me, emotional intelligence or literacy, one of the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
being able to be aware. I'm aware of how I'm feeling and my emotions in any given setting or time.
I'm able to identify them. I'm able to observe them without reacting because of them.
Mm-hmm.
And just better able to assess myself and then make decisions based on my,
I like that.
not my emotions. Because being
Mm-hmm.
led by emotions for me has always gotten me into trouble. And like emotions are not for me a tool to live by. They're just a marker to let you know, like, okay, this isn't a good situation,
Right.
or you know what I'm saying. They're a tool to use, but they're not to be controlled by. You can't allow your emotions to be the excuse for you doing this, that, or the other.
And can I say this? I feel like two people that I'm more than anybody, I'm saying Christians for definitely displaying emotional
Okay.
literacy.
Can I
And
explain that? Can I explain?
situation.
I got the definition.
Hold
I
on,
have
hold
the
on, hold on.
definition.
You're not supposed to read it.
Yeah. Hold
We
on.
say
Don't shoot it yet.
I wasn't
Go,
sure. All right.
go ahead, Leon. You were saying two people.
I was just saying, I noticed that usually he was displaying emotional
Show mom.
literacy, and Delicious was displaying emotional literacy before. And I was aware of it, but I didn't want to say nothing. I was just like, okay, so they all control the emotions. Then most people that be on the panel.
Right.
But sometimes sometimes we don't use it, and I just remember the example that I could have gave. I'm gonna give this example with Natural Beauty. Natural Beauty was arguing with, I think, Rain. Well, it wasn't even an argument because Natural Beauty handled it like you could tell she was just in control of her emotions because Rain was just like taking these crazy shots, and Natural Beauty was just like, okay, are you okay today or something? I forgot. I think it was it Rain, Natural Beauty, that was like, oh yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
Rain,
rain.
and you was just like not feeding into it like she expected, I guess, and it made everybody look more at Rain like, is she having an okay day? You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a good example that I feel like that people could have observed, man. A person that's more aware of their emotions and how they display them versus a person that's not. You really
And
using
multiple times,
emotional.
Lisa
And
sat
you've
up here
done
and
it with
cursed me
Lisa.
out. She
You
cursed me
have,
out, and I
yeah,
did not use profanity back to her.
yeah.
And most people would have
It's
been
been a
going
few
back and
times,
forth,
y'all.
tiptoe to tiptoe.
I think I display
Okay.
it a little better than everybody though,
Can I
but I
read
think maybe
the definition? Can I read the
I think
definition?
Clan Style have to go, and then number 7.
my style is good with it too. I'm gonna use my style because people be taking good shots at it too.
Okay. So
Most of
can I read
the guys,
it for you?
Hey,
Do
Miss
y'all want
Janice.
to hear the definition?
I don't think, well, 3 people didn't go yet. I think he was going in order.
She doesn't care,
And then
so
the
just read it.
definition
No,
I
was
I
don't
was
care.
supposed to be after
asking.
everyone spoke.
Where after everybody, yeah.
Okay. All right. I just asked the question. That's all.
I feel like my phone is
So
gonna overheat soon.
I think I
Go
think
ahead, Clan
Natural
Style.
Beauty is definitely right on it. You know what I mean, as far as emotional intellect and emotional literacy being like one and the same. I feel like it's the ability to acknowledge emotions and but not be controlled by them. Is the ability to acknowledge your
Oh,
but not be controlled by them. I kind of I feel like when Natural Beauty was saying there being that emotions are a tool, you know what I mean? I always look at it like I'm a mechanic, so of course I'm gonna put it in knuckle wrench, you know. But they're like the dash lights, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? When your check engine light comes on, the check engine light itself, it's not the
there we
problem.
go.
You get what I'm saying? But it's letting you know that something is going on. You get what I'm saying? And your emotions are a lot like that. When you're happy, the happy isn't the happy. You're happy because of something. And
Right, right.
typically people know what they're happy about. But if you're upset, You dig what I'm saying? If you're upset, the upset isn't the problem. You're upset about something. And a lot of times people don't understand even that they're upset or what they're upset about. That's what the check engine light. You know what I mean? It's more of a check. It's the light's not the problem. It's letting you know there's a problem. So that would be my, you know what I'm saying?
I like that, Dez. I never knew you was a mechanic, and now it makes sense why you use another example with like the mechanic type of stuff before.
Yeah.
So
But
okay,
yeah.
okay.
But
I
there's
like
people
that though,
don't.
man. That's perfect.
But there's people display they display all those they you have to display it with other people. You know, you can't just pretty much like display it all by yourself. So when people is with people, they display, you know, who they are, whether it's self-awareness, have self-control. So
Right.
everything is
Exactly.
pertaining to being with, and that's
Hmm.
how I explain it. I try to make it short and simple because I can't just be in my room and display to myself. It only happens when you're around people. So that's
Can I give another example? Oh, okay, so this is another example. I'm gonna use a situation that I've been in before. My ex, right? My ex had a horrible day at work, and you know, she always tried to. She would always try to not bring her problems from work back in the house, right? She usually just like how some of us try to get off Bigo and don't worry about Bigo, and I realized that okay, so my ex had came home and it was dishes in the sink, and I had the day off, and it was still early in the morning, but she came home from work, and then she was just fucking mad. Like I'm talking about, she was throwing the dishes in the trash, and she was just like mad, and I'm like, okay, I, me being me, I was able to see, all right, she, even though she's saying something to me or whatever, let me ask her if it's me that she's mad at or something else. Like you said, the check engine light was on, there. So after a while, she just during the whole dish thing, she started saying, "I'm tired of this job," blah blah blah. So you know, it's sometimes it's important to just not look at the response from a person. Like you don't have to always think that you're doing something wrong if a person is coming after you. You can kind of check the person and see why they are
Yeah. Yeah.
responding the same type of way
Hmm.
too. Yeah, but I just
Hmm.
wanted to throw it out there for an example of how we can be aware of other person's situations too, man. If we don't always assume that somebody is just mad at you, it could be something that they're dealing with internally that's causing them to lash out on you.
See, you're correct on that. At the same time, a lot of ladies like to come home to a clean house because like they naturally wouldn't leave it like that theirself, and so just to see that alone,
What's
they may
their
have
normal
had
reaction?
they may have had a trigger at work. Yes, you're right, but that's not a trigger at home. So so
Yeah,
they can discern from work and home. And usually, a woman likes to come home where it's clean and they can just start to cook or create something that they want to eat. And before
yeah,
that, they have to
but
clean up first.
like 3 or 4 dishes in the sink shouldn't trigger a response to just go off like a certain type of way. So that's why I could have been like, man, shut the fuck up. This is blah blah blah, man. I could but instead I was just like, okay, so a normal person or a person that's not in their emotions or more in control of their emotions would have just been like, um, handle it different. Look, I had a bad day. Just can you take care of this? You see what I'm saying? I had a bad day. The last thing I want to do is wash some dishes. Can you take care of this? You don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just ways to handle stuff different. But I see what everybody's saying though.
Plant style and evolve the culture haven't gotten to share, nor did Arving, and I think Krim just came in. But did you want to share Plant?
I've been listening. I'm just listening to y'all, to be honest. It's really
I'm
simple.
sorry, I was
That's
waiting
my
for a
Yeah,
second.
that's my plant style imitation.
It's not
I
even
got
really
a
that
I
Um,
complicated.
got a
I
pretty
mean,
I
I
got
was
a
waiting
pretty
for a
calm
second. I
spirit.
don't
So
know if you
like
Who's
guys.
saying?
Hold on,
come on, Jimmy.
hold on, Kareem. Hold on, number four. Six is gonna go. You hear me, plant?
I said I stepped away for a second. I don't know if you guys are on the same subject. If you've changed the subject.
Yeah, same subject. I was giving my plant style imitation.
What, the emotional literacy?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just
Oh, King Musa said that they have emotional literacy exercises. That's cool. I ain't
Yeah.
heard
yeah,
that.
They do. They do.
the only
Yeah,
thing
I was really thinking about googling them. Go ahead. Go ahead. See, because as I was sitting here
my
thinking, I
bad,
was like,
Pastor.
yeah.
oh, something like that.
I
My
want to
bad,
get into
Pastor.
those after everyone speaks.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
was
being
in my
able to
Hold on, Kareem.
understand your emotions, know what they are, know how to express them, and just knowing that they're like a healthy part of, human experience.
Mhm.
Accepting that, I think is just, yeah, good. Yeah, emotional literacy.
Evolve.
Emotional intellect. She
Yeah,
didn't do emotional
basically.
intellect.
Well, it's,
They
huh? Pretty much the
He gave us
same
two.
thing.
Kind of the same thing.
It's
kind
the
They're
of
pretty
same
much
thing,
the
but
same
yeah.
thing.
he wanted us
Yeah.
to, do both. But never mind. Go ahead.
Evolve. Did you want to go ahead and share, bro? I know you've been waving your hand.
Oh yeah, man. It's all gravy, man. Like, pose the question again, because I let it go a
So
long
what?
time ago when I heard someone
How would
else think.
how would you define emotional literacy or intellect?
Okay, so they do really sound like the same thing. They really do. Emotional literacy and emotional intellect, but I would still categorize them as a little bit different because emotional intellect is understanding
Hmm.
how the endocrine system produces chemicals and how the body attaches onto the chemicals. Emotional literacy is knowing when you've been triggered, no matter what feeling you feel, whether you feel like you're frustrated, whether you feel like you're impatient, and you process that before you answer. And so now when you answer, you're just coming out with logic, and you don't use
Right.
emotions. And therefore, you're not pointing at someone's flaws. You're not pointing at something someone said. You're just coming
Right.
with facts of the issue.
Right.
Right. He
And
just said
that's
what
the
I said.
difference.
And I like that you said. I like that you said that you're not pointing at somebody's flaws too, because some people don't even be like. Look, let me tell y'all something. I look. Sometimes we don't even be aware that we have a flaw until somebody put the seed in your head, and you be like, "Oh shit!" So I do this. So we got to be careful too when we hear somebody, give them their perception of us. Like somebody might be like, "Man, you talk too much," but you never heard that before. And then you thinking all day, "Man, do I talk too much?" And then you might think, "Oh, I got a flaw." So we gotta kind of pay attention to that type of stuff too. When it comes to the taking stuff like holding on to things, I just wanted to put that out there because I heard him say something about flaws.
Right. Well, if you guys want to understand how the chemical body works, like a good movie that'll break it down is what the bleep do we know? It's gonna show it's gonna show when the hypothalamus produces chemicals based on something that you're experiencing, and that for that chemical reaction to continue, your receptors of your cells have to literally attach onto it and link to it. But you can use your breath in that moment of you feeling that you can breathe so that the link doesn't happen. So therefore, now you can breathe away that the reaction that would happen if the receptors attached onto the chemical that was created from the hypothalamus.